You're watching Dolphins Today by Chat Sports. Mitchell Renz here, ready to walk you through the latest news and rumors around the Miami Dolphins. Before I get into today's show, Father's Day, it's on Sunday. If you haven't gotten your dad something awesome, head on over to chatsports.com/DolphinsDad, where I got a giant box filled with a whole bunch of Dolphins goodies. $80 value for only $49.99. The first story coming up here is around Tua Tagovailoa. I did a video yesterday on the channel talking about how much he struggled throwing 5 interceptions. And all the comments down there were like, but Mitch, he had such a good day on Wednesday. Why don't you talk about that? Well, here you go. I'm talking about it. I told everyone to take a chill pill, relax a little bit. Tua was able to have a big-time bounce back through 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Coach Brian Flores went on to say that he looked electric on day 2 after, yes, a very rough Tuesday. This is the kind of stuff, though, that we like to talk about on these shows, because just because a quarterback has one bad practice, you don't necessarily know everything that Flores is telling him. And from everything that I've read, everything that I saw, they wanted him to stretch the ball down the field. They wanted to see if he could fit it in the tight windows. And it also went on to say that the defense made a few really key plays. So yesterday, my one-word reaction to all the Tua news was this: relax. Take a breath. It's all going to be okay. And then you see the very next day, he takes that next step after really getting ripped apart on social media, takes a breath himself, goes back out there in practice field, and absolutely tears it up. So I was excited to see something like that from Tua, especially because he's a young guy. I can imagine anytime you see getting yourself ripped apart, it's probably tough. But it goes back to his days at the Crimson Tide, probably the toughest program in college football to play with. And now he's with the Miami Dolphins. So I thought all that stuff was kind of cool to talk about. So let's go ahead, back him up here. If you believe in Tua Tagovailoa, because there were so many comments like, this guy stinks, this and that, that's not what I want here. I want to get as many likes as humanly possible on this video. So if you believe in Tua, what I want you to do is go ahead and smash that like button. All right, we're going to get into a quote now around Brian Flores on Tua, basically on the entire Wednesday practice and how he's got a lot of confidence in his young quarterback. I tell him to continue to be aggressive. A lot of the conversations are what we have talked about. Use the time to practice pushing the ball downfield. Then we'll make adjustments, corrections, and we'll go at it the very next day. One of the things that Tua ended up saying after Tuesday's practice was, hey, Coach wanted me to throw the ball down the field, and he even said it himself, now's the time to make mistakes. You are 100% right. And when I first saw the 5 interception stat, I was like, well, I'm a little bit nervous about that. But if your boss comes into work, or if your coach comes into work and said, hey, I don't care what the output is, I don't care what ends up happening, I want you to do this so we can get better, and you go ahead and do that. If you're making your boss happy, if you're making your head coach happy, you know what? That's probably going to make me happy as well. Now, if you guys love the Miami Dolphins and you want to stay up to date on them, go ahead and hit that big red button that says subscribe. If somehow you went on YouTube and you just looked up dolphin videos and you're upset that I'm not swimming in the ocean, well, then you're definitely in the wrong place. But luckily for you, we're going to do Miami Dolphins talk here. News, rumors, a whole bunch of stuff going on in the offseason. The link is below, so go ahead and click that big red button that says subscribe. And if you're already subbed, let's get some more subs here. YouTube.com/Dolphins News. So the top cornerback that we've been talking about has been Xavien Howard. And no disrespect to him, I'm kind of sick and tired of talking about him. So, I want to talk about Byron Jones. And I saw an interesting article out there by USA Today that ranked the top 11 outside corners in the NFL. I was pretty surprised that, if you're just talking about top 11 overall corners, nickel and outside, maybe. But if you're telling me right now that Byron Jones isn't a top outside corner, I'm sorry. I don't know who wrote this article. I don't know who ended up making it. I don't know what you were drinking or God knows what you're doing before. But I'm going to simply disagree. Xavien Howard, he did make the list at number 4. And we're going to be able to walk you through this list right now where Jalen Ramsey, he came in at number 1. I got no problems with that. I do think Ramsey's the best corner in the league. Jair Alexander, he's coming off a phenomenal year. He was rated, I believe, as the top cornerback according to Pro Football Focus. Marlon Humphrey was number 3 on this list. Another very good player, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't put Humphrey over somebody like Xavien Howard, who's coming off a 10 interception season, over 20 pass breakups. Trey White, Not really going to debate that one. I love Trey White, even though it had a little bit of a down year for his standards. Stephon Gilmore's coming off an injury. I thought James Bradbury absolutely killed it this past year with the Giants. Denzel Ward has the upside to be a top 8 cornerback, but if you're telling me right now you'd rather have Denzel Ward or Byron Jones in just the year 2021, I'm sorry, I think you're crazy. William Jackson had a solid year in Cincy. Give me Byron Jones. Darius Williams, am I the only one? Not that he's overrated, but if he wasn't next to Jalen Ramsey, he wouldn't be top 10 on this list. And Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters at one time deserved to be in the top 11, but that guy gets burnt way too much to be considered top 11 over somebody like Byron Jones. So I'm just going to say this. I get that the idea of this show is to be able to give you guys news and rumors, but it's also be able to give you guys takes. This list was bad, and USA Today should be ashamed of themselves, whoever decided to put this thing out there. Sure, you got a few of the names right. Congratulations. But the top one, Sam's whispering to my ear, producer Sam. I mean, anybody, my mother could get Jalen Ramsey right at number 1. Jair Alexander, like, anybody could get those. But to not put Byron Jones in the top 11, I thought was kind of interesting. And then to put some of the other names out there was really interesting. The other thing that I took away from this is we say all the time, and I'm not afraid to say, that I believe Xavien Howard and Byron Jones, that is the best cornerback duo in the National Football League. If you don't like that, you can come find me on Twitter, on Instagram, at MitchellRenz365. But if Jones isn't in the top 11, that means the Ravens cornerbacks, outside corners, are better than Miami's. I mean, no disrespect to Marlon Humphrey and Peters, not better than Jones and Howard, and then also the Rams. Like, again, I get that you have Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey, I'd rather have him over any kind of secondary player right now in the league. But, I mean, honestly, I can't even remember the other guy's name at this point. So, like, they're not better. Darius Williams, not better than what Miami has. That's what I took away from it. So let me know here. Are Howard and Jones the best cornerback duo in the league? I want you to go down in the comments section and type Y for yes, or you can go ahead and tell me N for no. One of the best combo deals we got going on right now here at Chat Sports is this awesome thing that you guys can get for your dads for Father's Day. What exactly is it? All you got to do is go to chatsports.com/DolphinsDad, and it's literally just a giant box of awesomeness if you're a diehard Dolphins fan. So let me read to you what exactly is in this. This includes a 30 by 60 beach towel, so a Dolphins beach towel. I know you guys need that. A 2-sided garden flag with a metal garden flagpole. A multi-use decal sheet with 3 decals. 7 durable stainless steel bottle openers. A slim can cooler with a 2-pack. And a regular can cooler 2-pack. And that's a lot of stuff. It's an $80 value, but you guys can get it for $49.99. Again, it's at the link that y'all see below. It'll be in the comments. It'll also be in the description. Chatsports.com/DolphinsDad. The last story here on today's video is from Bleacher Report, and they broke down an article about one big regret every NFL team should have from the 2021 offseason. The regret that the Dolphins apparently have is not adding a starting caliber running back, which, to be honest with you, I can understand the reason why they decided to go with that move. We would agree that the running back position is probably the weakest position for Miami on the offensive side of the football. However, to call it a regret, I don't know if it's 100% fair to the Dolphins because I like Gaskin. They did try to go out and add somebody in Brown. Ahmad also had a halfway decent season. They drafted Dokes in the 7th round. But sure, it is still probably their biggest weakness, and they were linked to just about every single running back in the draft. They were linked to just about every single running back in free agency. But I don't really like the way that Bleacher Report phrased it. So here's exactly what they had to say. The team ranked 22nd in rushing yards last year and only 29th in yards per attempt. While Myles Gaskin and Salvon Ahmad are serviceable complementary backs, neither is an established starter. Miami added longtime Rams backup Malcolm Brown, but again, he's not a high-level starting running back. So here's my thing. I've said this 100 times on the show. I'm actually glad that the Dolphins didn't decide to spend big on a running back in free agency. Do I think Aaron Jones is a stud? Absolutely. Chris Carson, hell of a running back. But I'm not going to go out there and pay anybody, realistically, a running back over $8-10 million. It's not the way that I think the NFL is being able to run right now. Did I want them to go get somebody in the draft? You're damn right I did. So the fact that Bleacher Report said this and that they only drafted a running back, or essentially they waited until the 7th round to select Jared Dokes, I agree with that statement. But if you actually watch the draft, you also know this. The Dolphins, they got hella unlucky. Was Najee Harris the top back on their board? Yeah, he ended up going in round 1. Travis Etienne, he ended up going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then the pick before Miami at 35 overall, the Denver Broncos traded up to 35 to take Javonte Williams. I'm not saying that they didn't want Holland at 36, but I really think if Williams would have been there at 36, that's the route they would have gone. It's not too common that somebody trades up for a running back. So to say it's their biggest regret, yeah, I didn't really 100% like that. So what I want you guys to do now is give me a number, okay? Confidence level. Scale from 1 to 10 in the Miami Dolphins running backs. If you're not confident at all, you would go ahead and type 1. If you are really, really confident in this backfield, go ahead and type 10. I'm at a solid 6, 6.5 at least. That's what I tell people. No, but seriously, it's probably like a 6, 6.5. That's where I believe the Dolphins running backfield is. If you guys made it this far in the video, remember, go down in the comments section and interact with every single one of our questions.